Finding the missing coordinate of a polygon. That's going to be our lesson for today. We're going to focus on what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you all the coordinates of a polygon except for one. I'm going to describe the polygon, and then you have to find that last side. Today we are only going to focus on triangles, rectangles, and parallelograms as our polygons. Okay, let's move on to our first example. All right, in example 1 here, there's my 3 points. And then the question is, points A, B, and C are 3 vertices of a rectangle. So that rectangle is A, B, C, D. What is the ordered pair of point D? So we're going to try to find that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot my 3 points that I know. So point A is 3, 5. So I go right 3 up to 5. Put my point. Label it A. Then point B is negative 1, 5. So I'm going to go left to negative 1 and up to 5. Label that point B. Point C is negative 1, 2. So I'm going to go left to negative 1, up to 2. That's point C. And then the question is, what is the ordered pair of point D? So I'm going to draw what I have so far. And now I have to figure out where my last point is for my rectangle. So there's only one spot that this point could be to create my rectangle. We do know that rectangles, opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are the same length. So using that information, I know that my last point is going to have to be right here. That is what is going to finish my rectangle. So once I know where the point's going to be, I look to see what the ordered pair is. That's 3 to the right and 2 up. So 3 to the right is 3, 2 up is 2. So my answer is 3, 2. Notice in my ordered pair, I have parentheses around my numbers. Don't forget that. Okay, if you need to pause, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to my next example. In example 2. There you have 2 points there, and points E and F are 2 vertices of a right triangle. So we're going to have a right triangle here. So, just like before, I'm going to go ahead and plot my first point. So that's negative 6, 1. Way over here, label that E. Point F is negative 3, 4. So negative 3 up to 4. Okay, and that's going to be point F. Alright, so what is my ordered pair for G? Well, it does say of a right triangle, so I have to make sure I'm working in right angles. Okay, E and F obviously do not create a right triangle, so I can connect those. So right triangles have to be up, down, right, or left. Now notice it says there's 2 options. Why could there be 2 options? Well, my first option is I could put the point here and have this be my right triangle. So if I did that, that would be negative 3, 1. Okay, that is one option. Go ahead and switch colors here. If I go to another option, I could have put it up here, oops, and had my right triangle up there, and had that as point F, and that would be negative 6, 4. Okay, so those are the 2 options that I could have as my right triangle. So you'd have to read the directions carefully. If the directions say in a question, what could it be, and they only ask for one, then you'd only have to put one option. If it said what are both options that it could be, then you'd have to put both. So you'd have to read and be careful of the directions. Okay, so that's how you can create a right triangle. Okay, if you need to pause, go ahead. Otherwise, I am going to move on to the next example. In example 3, we have 3 points again. This time we're doing a parallelogram, H-I-J-K. So I'm going to plot my 3 points. 1, 3, that's going to be H. 2, 5, that's going to be I. 5, 5, that's going to be J. Now I said that this is a parallelogram. So we got to find that last point. Notice I'm not working with a right angle between H and I. That's what makes it a parallelogram, not just a rectangle, is that that's not a right angle. So how am I going to figure out where my next point was? Well, to do my next point, I'm going to use my 7.1 work here, where I'm going to count over my spaces. From I to J is 1, 2, 3 units. Okay? So it means H to the mystery point K also has to be 3 units because opposite sides are the same length. So from H to K, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and that's going to put K right there. Now when I connect those, there is my parallelogram. You can also see to go from H to I that I go right 1 and then up 2. So that means to go from K to J, I'd go right 1, up 2. So there's another way that you can do it. Okay, but you got to remember that the lengths, opposite lengths, are the same, opposite sides are the same length. You got to make sure of that. Okay, and let's answer my question. Point K is then 4, 3. It went right 4, up 3, so your answer is 4, 3. Okay, if you need to pause, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to do our last example. Okay, in our last example, you're going to try this one on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and do the work, and then we'll go over the answer. Okay, hopefully now you got the answer done. Let's see how well you did. So we're looking at a rectangle, LMNO. So first thing I'm going to do is plot my points. L is 4, negative 3, so that's going to be right here. And then we have negative 4 and negative 3. That's going to be M. And then N is negative 4, negative 5. That's N. So the last point O, well, when I connect those, that's going to put O right here. That's going to be point O, which is 4, negative 5. So that is your final answer. Okay, if you need to go back and watch anything again, go ahead. Otherwise, have a great night.